Good morning, good evening, welcome to this week's live chat. I wanted to talk about live streaming, funnily enough, being a live streaming channel and everything. But I would love to know if you have actually done a live stream. If you haven't done a live stream, let me know if you're here in the chat. That would be great. And if you're watching on the replay, pop it in the description below, in the comments. Oh my gosh, I've only had one coffee so far this morning. So, bear with. So, yeah, like I was having a chat with some friends over the weekend and they were like, oh, I don't understand how you're so comfortable live streaming. Like, why is that more comfortable for you than a pre-record? And I didn't know the answer. I didn't know the answer to the question, because it doesn't logically make sense that I'm more comfortable live streaming than I am pre-recording. I suppose it comes down to I look at you and I'm having a conversation with you, and I can have conversations. I can talk to people. I can talk under wet cement. But when it comes to actually pre-recording something, it feels different. I'm in exactly the same chair. I'm using exactly the same camera. Everything. I'm doing all of the same things. So, it's just, I don't understand why one is more comfortable for me than the other. So let me know in the chat. But I'm going to have a look at the chat. So good morning, live stream consultants. Great to see you here. Leanna's jumped in. Good evening and all in the chat today. Doug's got his little eyes looking around. Morning, Doug. To do it. Live stream consultant says multi-pies. What's multi-pies? I don't understand. Or multiples, sorry. Clean my glasses. Multiples is probably even, makes less sense. I don't understand. Is there an issue? Can we hear multiple audio? That's when my brain instantly went, is like there's a problem, but I'm like looking here and I'm like, I can only see one audio source. I'm like, oh. Live stream consultant says, I prefer being live also. Yeah, I don't know what it is about being live versus a pre-record. So especially when you're a newer live stream or you're live streaming at a new time, which, we are today. If you're in the US, it's a different time for you. Or possibly, depending on your state. But there's no inherent difference between pre-recording and live streaming to a quiet chat. Because it's not like the chat is, crazy engaged or doing anything insane. So like if you're a new streamer, so I don't understand why I prefer the live streaming over the pre-record. In saying that, I have a plan, and I need you guys to hold me to it. I plan that by the end of next year, I've gotten into a regular upload schedule. So I'm giving myself like 13 months. Regular upload schedule. Now, those of you that know me know I don't do New Year's resolutions. I do seasons of improvement. So it'll be like one quarter is for health and another quarter is for, the different things that I choose to do. So I just want to, make sure that it goes through, and I don't just sort of like, the New Year's resolutions tend to be like, oh, look, it's, January, new year, new me. I'm not a new me. I'm the same me. I just want to have better skills at something. So, yeah, let's have a look at live stream consultant says, I've done many streams. Yeah, I've done a lot of streams. Home Rapid Repair says 13 months. I'll have white hair. Me too. I'll have white hair. I'll have white hair in a month, or thereabouts. So yeah, it's it's who knows what a month will bring. What is it? I'm just being funny. You're awesome. Yeah. Oh, thank you. But yeah, it's definitely definitely an interesting thing to think over and mull over. What is it that makes it easier to pre-record than to live stream, or vice versa, because some people don't like live streaming, and whereas some people don't like pre-recording, I'm not comfortable with pre-recording camp, and I'm perfectly capable of editing a video. I'm perfectly capable of writing a script. I just don't like doing it all. like I actually don't like editing videos of me. So I'm gonna have to like get over myself, right? Livestream consultant says, haha, I already have white hair. Oh my goodness. You do. Snowy white. It's very Christmassy. It's very Christmassy. So I'm just curious. Let me know if those of you here in the chat, are you more comfortable pre-recording or live streaming? Because I did say that I prefer live streaming, but I didn't check which one you prefer doing. Like what's your go-to? Like not what you do, not what you hope to do, but what is it you currently are doing more of? Is it VODs, like pre-recorded VODs, or shorts, or live streams? So for me, I tend to be leaning more into the live streaming, and with the occasional short, and that tends to be where I go as a comfort zone. So very curious to know what we're doing. Funny story, this morning, trying to set everything up here, of course, left turning the lights on to the last minute, and these lights wouldn't turn on, and I'm like lifting the desk up, checking the plugs, and the plug had fallen out a little bit, so that went back in, brought the desk back down because I can't reach the lights if the desk is up. So, and I'm trying to turn the lights on, the lights aren't working, and I'm like starting to freak out, let's be honest. And then I bring the desk back up, and I'm like pull the plug out and put the plug back in, all that kind of stuff to get the lights back on. And then when I bring the desk back down, on one side I sort of just held the button a bit longer, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's like a push and hold. Like, seriously, how many times have I turned these lights on and I'm like here tapping it and it's not turning on, but it's actually a push and hold? And I was sort of just like, I've just wasted like 7 minutes of lifting the desk up, replugging the plug, pulling the desk down, tapping it, So I just wanted to share that with you, that even though I've been doing this some time, I still forget things. Leanne's asking the question, do you really need to edit a pre-record? Why can they not be left natural? Is that not a thing? I know some people do. Some people leave them. But for some reason, whenever I'm doing a pre-record, I have to have like 5 goes at every single sentence. I don't know why. It's like an automatic thing. Maybe I should try that. Maybe I should like run through, and I do that sometimes, especially over on the Fibrific channel. If I'm going to run through and teach something, I'll actually use this exact same software because I'll be screen recording, and I will run through and do the thing, and then I'll go back and edit that and make it a bit prettier. Especially with those, because I like to add in like little boxes and zoom in on screens and things like that. So I need that kind of editing more so than the editing of me. But you're right, that could be definitely something worth looking into. Home Rapid Repair says, I feel VODs live on YouTube forever. VODs live on YouTube forever. It seems live streaming new impressions stopped after a few weeks. I would agree with that. I would 100% agree with that. And this might sound very, very odd coming from me, someone who is team live streaming. But if you are trying to grow a channel, if you're trying to grow an initial audience, not a community, but an audience, because they are different, you need the VOD content. People aren't going to commit to hanging out with you for an hour before, or longer, before they know if you're going to be providing value. So having some short and sharp content that they can jump into and watch can lead them to your live streams and can possibly bring them into your community. I feel live streaming builds community a lot better than VODs or shorts, whereas it's harder to build a community if you don't have an existing audience. And we can do both at the same time. Real Men Rising, good to see you in the chat. I prefer pre-recorded videos first choice and live streaming my second choice. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. A Home Rapid Repairer said, I would watch people's unedited regular videos. But would you? Like, I'm sort of sitting here thinking what mine look like before I edit them. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if you would stick around. I seem to get, you guys see me get tongue-tied here in these live streams. You should see it in a VOD. I don't understand why my brain makes them so different. Leanne said, I would as well because I'm so used to you live. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Back to the retro review. Great to see you in the chat. Great to see you here. Livestream Consultant says, try doing a private live with the intent to record it for a VOD. I mean, there is always that. It's one of those things where you can absolutely trick your brain into thinking it's alive. And for me, I try to do that by using my live streaming software to record the live stream, because I've got all the same screens and everything like that. So I do try to have that there as well. But sometimes it is, one of those things. Oh, Leanne, I mean, you're wonderful. Let me just put that. There we go. There it is there. I put up my Buy Me a Coffee link, or you can use the chat command, exclamation BMAC, and that'll bring up the link if someone wants to throw that in the chat. This channel is so small and young that it does not at this stage be in the partner program as yet. So all coffees greatly received. We're still aiming to finish the chair off, if that makes any sense. I've got I chipped in, but I needed the chair and I love the chair. Just so you know, there is a live stream of me building this chair, which, let's just say, it's not my usual caliber of live stream, because I was building a chair, okay? And it was definitely one of those things. Livestream Consultant says, I just have the one person watching. So when you're doing the private live stream, get someone in to watch so you can see that there's an eye there. That could work. Real Man Rising says, I totally agree with building a new channel. You need a good mix of VOD shorts and live streams together. Yeah, it's a balancing act. Now, at some stage, what you prefer to do has to come into play, right? Because you have to be able to maintain this long term. So being able to have this do its thing. Sorry, I've just realized that the Buy Me a Coffee thing is going to be covering where the GIFs are. I'm just going to move it. I'll start again. At some stage, we have to make the decision over what we prefer to do and let that be part of the decision making. It can't be 100% all about your not yet existent audience, because you have to be able to maintain progress. You have to be able to commit to what you're doing. And if you hate what you're doing every single week, there's not going to be any passion behind it. There's not going to be any sort of feeling, and so there'll be no connection. You're not going to be enjoying what you're doing, and your audience aren't stupid. They're going to see it. They're going to see that you're going through the paces. So, and that's a really important thing to remember. People are not stupid. They will see that you're just there for watch time, that you're just there for the clicks, whatever it is that you're aiming for. They're going to see it. They're going to know it. So make sure that whatever you're doing, that you are enjoying it as well. Home Rapid Repair has sent through 3 coffees. Thank you so much. I don't know why that's sitting like that. I'm going to move it over. There we go. Thank you. That's awesome, Larry. Thank you. So yeah, you have to be enjoying it as well. Now, sometimes we need to make a decision over what I'm enjoying versus what the audience wants. There's a disconnect. Where can we meet in the middle? Okay. So you have to go through, you have to look at these things. You have to constantly be checking and seeing how you're going. Look, you guys keep talking about coffee. I'm just going to have some of my coffee. In my Yeti collection today, I have I have some coffee. I have some English breakfast tea. And I have water. That's full, so that's heavy. Good job, me, for being hydrated today. Okay. Iced or hot coffee? I'm a hot coffee person. Not to say I don't like an iced coffee, but when I that's not how you spell hydrate. But when I think of iced coffee, I don't think of just coffee with ice cubes in it. And I've gotten that before, and I'm like, that's not what I thought. That's, you know, like over here, and the coffee with ice cubes is coming into Australia, which I do not agree with. I think it is wrong, and I think it needs to go back to where it came from. But in Australia, an iced coffee was like this. It was in like a beautiful glass milkshake mug with like a drizzle around it, and inside it's like nearly like a coffee milkshake. There's ice cream and there's cream and there's sprinkles and it's this whole thing. And that was an iced coffee. And we have iced chocolates that are the same. So you have like a chocolate drizzle, all chocolate syrup all inside the cup, and you've got, you know, like this chocolate milk, like nearly like an extra creamy milkshake. It's not a thick shake. It's not technically a milkshake. It's kind of like an in between the both, and that's an iced coffee. And so I one time I ordered an iced coffee from somewhere, and I literally got a white coffee with ice cubes in it. And I'm sort of looking at it like, am I being pranked? Like, is that what I ordered? And yeah, it turns out that's what they considered nice coffee, and I was full of disappointment. Unsweetened, that's right, unsweetened. I was totally full of disappointment. So I tend to order hot coffee so that there is no disappointment. Oh, the coffee jingle is not playing. Did it not play when we got the coffee through? It should have. Oh, let me settings. I don't know why it's not playing. If another coffee comes through, I'll make sure I manually hit the button if the actual sound is not happening. So I'm very sorry about that. It could also be that because I'm playing music, I've got my slider quite low. Can you guys hear the music just out of curiosity, or should I just kill it and we can test out the slider thing? Let's kill it and test out the slider. So someone will need to help me with that. Pause. All right, I'll pump that slider up. So if we get another coffee, you know, no pressure. If we get another coffee, I'll see if it was me having the slider low that made the difference. I'll bring those two up as well, just in case. All right. Okay. Doug's got fuzzy eyes. Yeah, where's those fuzzy eye emojis when we need them? Iced coffee is an East Coast thing, is it? Oh, I've just turned the music off, but I did have it quite low. I could see it on my little thing, but it was very low. Yeah, very funny. All right, so building our audience versus building our community, they are actually two totally different things. And I know we've discussed this before, but I'm going to discuss it again, and I'll discuss it again in the future because I think we need to hear it over and over and over again because it's so important. Building a community is not the same as building an audience. Now, yes, you can do them at the same time. They require different things. They require different levels of effort. I am so gung-ho on building a community. Sometimes I forget to build an audience. And I don't want that for you. I want you to have both. I want you to be able to come in, do the things that you need to do, have people see what you need to say, And then join in for your live streams to hang out and have a good time and learn some more and help each other. And that's the other thing I love about communities in the chats. The number of people that I have met now in real life or ended up being friends on with other social medias so that we could chat more, purely because I met them in chats. Doug Hewson bought a testing. Did we hear the sound? Please let me know if you heard the sound. Otherwise, I'm going to have to press the button for Doug. And then I'm going to have to check why that's not playing. Did the coffee's...
Yes, it's coffee time. Coffee, coffee.
I'm grumpy about it.
Cheetos.
I don't know why it's not there. It should be there. Grr. All right, let me... I'm just going to jump in to buy me a coffee and double check why it's not there, because it's going to bug me, and I added it in for the sole purpose of being able to do this. Let's look. Let's see what's happened. The manual sound worked. Excellent. Thank you. Good to know. Good to know. Real Men Rising said, I totally agree. I made that mistake on my first channel. Yeah. Look, and it's easy mistake to make because we do know the importance of our community. We do know how important it is. Okay, so I do have the audio is uploaded. It's there. I'm going to try and upload it fresh. Oh no, I don't know where it is. I'll have to look into it. But it definitely says it's there. It's just not there. So that's annoying. I'll have to just manual it. System sounds are on. You know what? System sounds were not on. I had them muted. Well, that's annoying. That's annoying. I don't even know what to say about that. Okay, we worked out what it was, I think. Live streaming with John Lacey. Bring back my mouse. Come over here. John Lacey says, hey, for a nice haircut. Thank you. Thank you. It's phase 1. It's phase 1. I'm a bit nervous about phase 2, let me tell you. So let's have a look here. Yeah, I think I had the sound effects muted. So annoying. I don't want to ask you guys to send another coffee to test it, so we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes next time. Because that's dumb. That's dumb. The checklist. Well, I didn't mute it, so it's not something I do have on my checklist to check if my system sounds are on. It's definitely not something that I normally do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that slider back down. I'm going to bring on the music. All right, so let's get the music going. There we go. Alrighty. We'll see how that works. Can you guys hear the music? Because it's not kind of no point if you can't hear it. So yes, I ran through my checklist this morning, which I got kiboshed at the lights, and then again at a speed test. So I had to run the speed test a couple of times. It was erroring out, which was stressful. I'll just eke it up just a little bit more. There we go. Which song have we got going? I don't know. Inside Out. Yeah.
Yes, it's coffee time. Coffee. Cheetos. Java. Yes.
I saw the sound thing work. I saw the sound thing work. Did it work? Yay! Troubleshooting with you guys is awesome. That's so good. And was it loud enough is the other question. Because I did have it on fairly quietly, just in case. Because, you know, my computer makes bips and noises and stuff. Actually, I should probably, let's quit that. So that there's less chance of those bips and noises coming through. Wood. Wood solved. Yeah, it worked. Absolutely. Love it. Doug Hewson's bringing out the 4,000 emojis. Oh, that's so cool. All right. Look, I was chatting with the guys over at the Mod Squad, and we were talking about this emoji wall, and I was like, yeah, my Fiberific community really like it. I like it. I think I've realized how much I like it. So yeah, it's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing. And I think I've noticed, and I don't know if it's just because I like the emojis. I've noticed that there's a lot more chat interaction now that I've got ways for you guys to chat. I've got ways for you guys to be more interactive with the Social Stream Ninja, being able to bring on hydrate time, okay. Being able to bring on well, it's over there, the little GIFs, being able to have the emojis bounce around the screen, for you guys to be able to, you know, do various chat commands. I think looking at ways that make it so, that your chat can feel like they're part of it, is really important. I haven't added any new ones yet. Sorry, Livestream Consultants. I saw your big long list of suggestions and I love it, but I haven't done anything with it. I'm very slack. I'm so sorry. John says that he's a bit of a control freak and he's reluctant to give up control over things that pop up on the screen. Look, I get that. I do get it. I definitely understand. And while I've made quite a few, I've only made things I'm happy, and you can actually go in and block particular emojis as well. So you can choose some emojis that you don't want showing up. So I've got a few in there that I didn't want to have there. And I just make sure there's a clearish space. Now, if I was doing like a screen presentation, if I was doing like what you do sometimes where you're actually walking through, I would probably pause a lot of the on-screen interactions because of that. I'd want that clear. And if I was recording for it to be a podcast, like technically I add these into a podcast playlist, but if I was recording this to be a podcast, do you know what? That one is in the list and I don't know why it showed up. Grr. Okay, maybe the listing's not great. Yeah. Let me just check. Maybe I didn't put it in properly. Oh, let me have a look here. It's definitely... It's definitely on the list. It is toggled on. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna have to have a look. Let me see. Oh, John, the all comments on a screen, that's never coming back for me. When I very first started live streaming, I used to do that. Definitely would not do it now. I definitely would not do it now. And there's so many people, I see it in, I definitely see it in the live streaming, you know, town halls and things like that. People are wanting these on-screen displays all the time. And I sort of just sit there thinking, you have no control over what appears on your screen. And as we learnt from the StreamYard YouTube channel, just because it is, you didn't write it, if it appears on your screen, it can cause your channel to be removed. You can get your community strikes from comments of other people if you show them on your screen. So having that where you don't have the control over it, I'm not down for that. And I think that if you're a person who wants that, I would be seriously looking at and considering why. I personally am not in team free speech. You know, like everyone's comments are allowed, blah, blah, blah. No, everyone's appropriate comments are allowed. Yeah, absolutely. But anything that I would not like my daughter to see when she was younger, she's old now, she can see whatever she wants. But when she was younger, like anything a child could see, I'm not down for that. I want this content to be safe for kids to walk past and see. And sometimes people, and this is the other thing, is people will write perfectly innocuous or very good comments, but their channel name is dodgy or their image is dodgy. All of that comes up on your screen, and if you share that in your live stream, you are the one who will suffer the consequences if any consequences come about. You can't go, well, I didn't write it. Why do I get the community strike? No, you brought it on screen. You allowed it to be shared publicly. So it's up to you to decide whether or not that comes on screen. Do you want that in your community? Do you want that to be part of your regular situation? Have moderators in your chat to stop it from coming through. Have good blocked words lists to make sure that, you know, you've got a good starting point. But as Doug's just literally said here, blocked words lists are not bulletproof. They're not. They're not bulletproof. They're a good way to weed out a lot of stuff, but you still need a real human there just to be double checking things as well. John says here, he's definitely restricted the emoji in that list. Yeah. I'm surprised it went through. I'm actually quite shocked that it did. Doug says fixing things and breaking things. You just need a shirt with that on there, Doug. You just walk around smashing things and then fixing it again. I had toggled that on. Maybe because Doug is a moderator. No, because, like I look at it from Social Stream Ninja picks up everything that appears in the live chat. So anything that someone can put in that live chat feed, then they have to list it out because they don't know Doug's a moderator. I mean they do because he's got a blue name, but other than that, there's a list. So if you go into the emotes wall, open up the general and scroll right down to the bottom, there's emotes to filter out. I mean, obviously it doesn't work, but you know, it's there. On-screen emojis could be distracting if you're presenting info in the way John does. Absolutely. So turn it off. Like, don't have it on. And I would try to remember to turn that off as well. I would turn off pretty well everything automatic if I was presenting something, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's okay for community streams, but live tutorials, you need to keep it focused. 100% agree. And this is probably one of the things I actually really like about the Social Stream Ninja is that you can easily toggle things off and on. So, you know, I could toggle on a poll. I could toggle on a giveaway tool. You know what I mean? Like there's all these things that you can toggle off and on. So that's right. That stuff is burnt into it forever. So all those comments, everything that comes into screen, that's all burnt in. You cannot remove that after the stream. So live stream consultant says, I don't get many live streaming with John. Lacey says, I don't get many trolls, but still, even sometimes good people make unfortunate typos. Yes, they do. Oh my gosh, autocorrect. Yes, I've typed a perfectly good word and then autocorrect hit it up. Yep. When I used to research home repair channels, some had very toxic and judgment comments. My viewers' comments tend to be very nice. I'm glad to hear that. I'm very glad to hear that. And you're right. I don't even think it's a niche specific thing. I really don't. I read through, I'm a member of so many communities, right? I like so many different things, whether it's YouTube stuff, whether it's yarn crafting stuff, whether it's some movies and televisions and series and like I'm in so many different little areas, and there's little toxic pockets of them all, and it's navigating it, and I quite often I'm like, moderator hat is always on, and I'm quite often looking at it thinking the moderators aren't doing anything. Like, they're doing nothing. And then the next, are there even any moderators? And I see this especially for some of like in the television stars and the movie stars kinds of feeds and streams and things like that. It's like they don't realize they need to do this stuff. They don't realize that they can control it. They can actually make this a nicer place, and a more encompassing and encouraging place for the nice part of their community. And I personally don't have a problem with removing toxic comments. I'm just like, dude, that's not appropriate. Why is that even here? Like, if you've got beef, if you've got like a legitimate gripe, you can word that gripe so that it's not toxic. You can word it in a way that is appropriate, trying to get your point across without it being needed to be moderated. There are ways to do it. And those comments can stay. It's the ones that are just vitriol that need to go. Leanne says, I think you need to consider your future viewers as well. Would they like to see a live chat full of troll comments? And it could be your audience does like it when you have to deal with trolls. Who knows? It depends on the content you're making. But you do have to sit down and you do have to think about these things. And not just for going live, but also in the comments area of your Facebook groups, of your Instagram comments, of your YouTube channel. Like, the number of people that don't have community management that should, I just sort of sit here thinking, like, why not? Why don't you have a community manager? There should be someone in here dealing with this. You could totally do it. You could totally do it. Oh dear. Larry is saying, I'm aware they can get negative again as I scale to a larger, broader audience. I mean, it's the harsh, oops, that light's sitting there on. That's the harsh truth there. The second it becomes broader, all you have to do is look at vertical live streams. Prime example. Who here in the chat has done a vertical live stream where they didn't get a single negative comment? Like, I'm seeing people, like, I'm seeing actual gaming streamers who thought, I'm going to give vertical live streaming a go. And these guys are used to like massive audiences on Twitch, on YouTube, like huge audiences. And they're just like, you know what? Vertical live is just not worth it. Because it's just full of trolls. People just, it's not your audience. It's just whoever happens to be in the shorts feed at the time who's swiping and looking at live content. And it's not a good thing. There needs to be a lot more work done to it. And because if you've got YouTube moderators, they actually have to have both the vertical and the horizontal stream open at the same time, because you can't mod it in one place. You've got to mod both separately. You're doubling up the workload. And I would say more than doubling it, because if you've got an active vertical chat, I've moderated vertical chats where every second to third comment had to be removed. And you're just sort of sitting there and it's like, delete, block, delete, block. Like, I got to work out. It was just like, if I need to, you know, really, if I really need to go banhammer, I'm like, whose vertical stream can I mod right now? Amazing Yacht Destinations. It's good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. John's saying, I think a lot of people are suffering right now and looking for people to blame and making interesting choices. There's a bit of that. There's a bit of that. So, yeah. Did I see someone say good morning to Russell? I haven't seen Russell jump in yet. Hi, Russell, if you're here. Real Men Rising says, I believe when you have a strong community and moderators together, they will help keep the trolls away. I agree, 100%. I'm pretty confident, especially with the moderating teams that I've got both on this channel over on Fiberific. I kind of keep an eye on the comments more just to bring them on screen. I know that the mods have got my back, and I don't have to think about that. But the number of people, like, and I've got small channels and I've got fairly big size moderating teams, right? Like we've got, what have we got in this chat now, right now? So here on YouTube, we have 11 viewers right now and we have 2 moderators. Now there's no reason to have 2 moderators right now, but it's helpful because if one of them has to get up and do something or leave, then the other one is still there. You know what I mean? Like it's one of these things where I see people like, oh, I've only got 300 people, so I've just got 1 moderator. I'm like, are you trying to burn that moderator out? Like, what's going on here? Like, and 1 moderator can totally handle that for sure. 1 moderator can handle more. To what level of quality, and it depends on what you expect your moderators to do. If you expect your moderators to interact with your chat, answer questions, things like that, it's very difficult to have them do that in a large group situation if you've also got them moderating out trolls, if you've got an active troll contingency. It's not to say they can't do it, because they can. It's just to say, do you want them to have to be like, I need to sleep for 2 days after that? John says, I don't think I've ever done a vertical stream, but I saw Nutty make similar comments on Twitter X the other day. Yeah, like he's a big streamer and he's backing out of vertical streams. It's just not worth his effort. A live stream consultant says, I haven't tried vertical streams yet, have done the Instagram vertical streams. They are different types of audiences. Yeah, they are. Instagram's a totally different community over there. There's not to say there's not trolls over there, but you can't have moderators either. So you've really got to hope that that it's pretty decent. So, yeah. And this is one of the things I love about YouTube and Twitch as well, is that you can appoint moderators to help you. And that's why I'm like, if you're going to be live streaming, you live stream on YouTube or you live stream on Twitch, where a moderator can come in and have your back. Have a friend come in and have your back. Wait until you see a stream with 300 to 400 live viewers. Even a dozen mods might not be enough depending on the niche. Oh, for sure. For sure. You're going to have to base how many mods you need off your audience. You can't base it off the number. You have to base it off the type of audience that you have. Also, what it is that you expect the mods to do. Like for me, I'm like, dudes, if there's a just crazy number of just irrelevant emojis or inappropriate emojis, that's got to go. If there's, like sometimes it's not like a bad comment. For me, if someone's got a dodgy username, they're getting blocked, because I don't want that on my stream. I don't want people seeing that, like check your usernames, people. Amazing Yacht Destination says, was in a live last night. A person was poking members and then one member got angry and was scolded by the streamer, but the provoker then said he is unsubscribed. So the member got hit on hard. So what you're saying is some rando came in and was harassing one of the regulars, or a channel member by the sounds of it. And then the channel member finally responded. But the channel member was the one that got upset. Like the person who was harassing the channel member was the one that won. That is, yeah. See, part of that is the streamer didn't see the whole thing. The streamer just saw the final part of the picture. Gosh, all right, yeah, that's hard. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. Man. A mod should have jumped in. A mod should have jumped in and actually sent a message to the streamer to go, no, this is what happened. They retaliated finally after being harassed, like after 15 harassing messages or whatever the number was. In saying that, a mod should have stopped the harassment. See? See, if you want your mods to stop harassing your members, like if you want your mods to stop other people from harassing your members or members harassing members, you've got to think about what it is that you want your mods to be doing and focusing on. So, oh dear. We definitely got sidetracked, didn't we? But it's okay, because welcome to a live stream with Chantelle, where shiny things happen. The streamer did not have a moderator. And therein lies the problem. Was it an active chat? Like, I get why some people don't feel they need a moderator if they've only got a few people. Yeah, bit of a squirrel moment. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just think if you're going to go live and you've got, you know, 10 to 20 people, one of them could be a moderator, right? One of them could be a moderator. Like, let me know in the chat. What do you think is the number of regular viewers in a live stream that you feel that you would need before you got a moderator? So let me know. It was an active chat and it was dual streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, and then you need moderators in all the places as well. That's the other thing. What happens if you make the wrong person a moderator? It can be bad. It can be bad. You do need to think about who you make a moderator. Moderators have access. Moderators can do things to change the tone of your audience, and not just of your live streams. Moderators can go in and remove comments on VODs as well. So that's the thing. You need to make sure that the person you are getting to be a moderator understands the gravity and understands the expectation. And you need to make that abundantly clear. Not just, oh, look, you know, a live stream consultants and home rapid repair here every week. I'm just going to mod them up. No. Like, have a conversation with them. Tell them what it is that you want them to do. Tell them what your expectations are, and then ask them if they're willing. Now, I've been in a situation where I needed a mod because I was being, like, this a few years ago when the trolls were worse, and I needed a mod really fast, and I was just like, hey, such and such, can I please mod you up so you can deal with this? And they were like, yep, no problems. And they've been a mod ever since. They've been fantastic. But there is a risk that that person that you ask is not amazing. But you can also unmod somebody. You can actually remove their moderator tools. So it's not like it's a situation where, okay, I've made them a moderator, they're a moderator forever. You can remove people's moderation access just as easily as you can give it to them. So you just need to, you do need to be cautious, but you also need to actually make the decision as well. You need to do both. Is there a way of blocking a bad Apple viewer after a stream ends if you have their YouTube info? Yes, if you've got their YouTube handle, you can actually just add that handle to your blocked user list. So you go into, you just go into your community and into your where the big list of all your blocked users are, and you can manually add them in as well. Or you can actually go back to a live stream replay and you can just click on them and then block them from there. Or if they've commented on a video, you can block them from there as well. So yeah, you can absolutely do that. Okay, so for the question of how many people in a stream before you need a mod, Doug says 10. Home Rapid Repair says 10 to 20. Yep, I think 10 or more, and you need a mod. Yeah, I would agree with that entirely. And not just because like 10's not a lot, right? But 10 is still enough that if somebody comes in and stirs the pot, it could go downhill really fast, right? So you definitely need to be looking at it. And sometimes it's just nice, like even if the 10 that you have are amazing and wonderful and fantastic, it's nice to know you've got someone there who's got your back just in case some rogue comes in and just goes on a little rampage. John says, it worries me a little that YouTube no longer has a real block option, just hide from channel. Yeah, it does, but it's been hide from channel for quite a few years. I kind of like it because they can still type in the chat. So they're just screaming into the void and no one can see them or hear them. I kind of love that. I'm a bit cruel that way, I think. So, Livestream Consultant says, I would love to see YouTube change the mod system to split the mods to stream mods and other mods. Just a thought. I don't know. I think your stream mods need to be, I actually think you need to, I think I personally think that whoever you get to mod, you should trust enough to do all of it, to look at the other stuff, to do these things. Now, if you've got a mod team and you can talk to them about who does what task, you know, and you'd be like, I'll leave this for such and such, they're going to be on top of that, and just let that person deal with that. Especially now with the new communities thing coming in, your moderators will actually have moderation power in there as well. So, and it's up to us as the channel owners to actually make sure that is moderated. So, you know, it is it's extra work. It's extra work. Yeah. Oh, Leanne. I've been in a couple of lives where the hosts have made every person a mod. What's with this craziness? Leanne, these are people who don't understand that moderators could just go in and delete every comment off their channel ever. If these people that they've made moderators are untrustworthy, they could go in to all of their VODs and just remove all the comments that they don't agree with and totally change the tone of the conversation in the VODs. These people feel that moderation wrench is a reward to give to regular people who come to their live streams. I do not agree with these people. I think these people don't understand what it is that they're doing. They don't understand the level of access they're giving these people to their channel. It is not a reward. It's nearly like it's a request for duty. It's when you give someone the moderator wrench, you are showing every single person in the chat that you agree with what this person is saying, that you agree with what these people are doing, because you have stood behind them and given them your nod of approval by giving them the wrench. And that's how I feel when I mod somebody, and that's how I feel when someone has made me a mod. I feel that they trust me. I feel like I've earned trust. I haven't earned the right to be a mod. I've earned trust. And some people don't feel that way about it, and are just there to be like, how many live streams, let me know in the chat, have you been in a live stream where someone has walked in and said, hey, make me a mod? Let me know in the chat while I go through here. Yeah, that drives me nuts. Me too, Doug. Me too. I'm just going to drag over the soapbox for that one. Being made a mod is not the right of a regular attendee of a streamer. John says, I never thought of the screaming into the void angle. That's quite hilarious. I know, right? It's kind of like, oh, evil, but good, but evil. I'm here for it. I'm like, do it. Scream into the void. I can't actually tell. Amazing Yacht Destination says, I must say, after being made for a mod for a couple of weeks, Twitch does seem to have some amazing mod features that YouTube need to look at. I know, right? YouTube are inspired by so many things off Twitch and of other platforms. Please be inspired by their moderation tools. Oh, please be inspired by those moderation tools. Being a mod isn't a reward for showing up. I 100% agree with this statement. It's like when somebody posts their live stream software guesting link on YouTube and invite the entire world on. Yes. It's like, oh, you don't like your channel. You're quite happy to have that channel removed. Okay, cool. Cool. Holly has seen that happen. Amazing Yacht Destination sees it all the time. Real Man says, I've never seen that before. That would be like someone asking me for a copy of my car keys. It is. It's exactly what it's like. It's like, hi. Someone knocks on your door. Hi, can I grab a key to this door? Thanks. That'd be great. Love Live stream consultant says no, but I've seen where everyone gets a wrench to be able to post links in the chat. Yeah. But do you know what? Like, there is an option, and I believe it's still there. I'll have to double check it. But we have the option to actually allow or disallow links in the chat. You can click that option to allow links in the chat. I've got it clicked so that there's no links in the chat, so only mods can do it. And I think it's automatically set to that. I'll have to double check to see if that's still a thing. But if you really, really, really want, if you really want people to be able to post links, which I just think is just trouble. Okay, like let's just start there. It's trouble. What you could do is have a public space where your mods can see it, and then they can grab the link and dump it. Like, you know, there are ways around giving everybody access. Main Street Popcorn says, I bought on a mod on day one and we learned together. You know what? That's actually really awesome. I like that. And my question for you is, was the mod somebody you knew? Like, did you know them from other socials first, or did you know them in real life, or was it just a total random who appeared in your chat? I'm really curious. I need more coffee. I'm also glad that you saw the need of a mod, honestly. I'm team moderator, bring on moderators. And the other thing I'll say is, while yes, I do earn some income from moderating, not all of the moderating is cash money income. Sometimes it's access, and getting access to a person, or getting access to like an email address where you can ask questions or something like that. Sometimes access is the bigger wish list. But sometimes if somebody asks for a question like, what is a domain for OBS Studio, you have to do an interpretive I can't say the word. Interpretive dance to answer without posting a link. I mean, that's true. That's true. I mean, yeah, I get it. I do get it. There's ways around it. You can just write it out and then write DOT. So yeah, there's ways around it if you're trying to help somebody, but at the same time, there should be a moderator in the chat who can answer that question, or you can set up chat commands where anybody could just do, you know, the exclamation and then write OBS so it brings up the OBS link. I mean, that means the streamers had to set that up, but it's totally doable. Are the managing mod settings still janky on iOS? Are they still working on Android? Because we realized the other week that managing mod stuff is not working on iPhones, whereas I still had it on my Pixel 7. So yeah. Do you know, just, you know, it's 10 o'clock a.m. We've been going for an hour. I have a question. Lots of you know I'm team, you know, whatever works for you. Make it work. Use what you've got. Make it work, right? But sometimes you've got to upgrade. Sometimes there's just times where it's like, okay, what I've got is not going to do what I want it to do. It physically cannot do what I want it to do anymore. I've grown. What I need has grown. So when I bought my MacBook Pro, I was just like, okay, I'm buying a really expensive laptop. Do I need it? And the answer was yes. There were plenty of reasons why it was all good. But I thought, I've got an iPad I'm just not going to use anymore because I've got this MacBook Pro, and does this mean that this is going to go to waste now? And I've realized I just use it just as much. So let me know in the chat, did you buy technology that you thought would replace something and then realize that you still use the other thing just as often? And you still use the new thing too. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm using that like a ton. But now they're serving like dual purposes, and I'm actually getting more done because I was able to do this one thing. So let me know. Oh yeah, Android is A-okay. Well, I mean, that's cool for us, right? That's cool for us because that is not everybody has like Doug, you've got both, and not everybody has both, and I technically have both. Like my daily driver is my Pixel 7. I love my Pixel 7. But I've got my daughter's throwaway iPhones. Unfortunately, the new one that she just gave me, the new one being an 11, the screen's busted. So it just swipes everything all the time. So I'm back to my 7, which I'm so disappointed about. So I'm like, I'm going to have to go and find a cheap iPhone somewhere that's not trashed. Team chair, for example. Absolutely. Now, one thing I'll say is I've worked out for now, while my hair is this color, I have to remove my headrest when I'm live streaming because I feel that it's weird. It does weird stuff. It gives me Princess, there it is. Princess Leia, you know, vibes. Get back up there. What are you doing? So I remove it for the streams and then I'll put it back afterwards. Love my chair so much. I've already noticed an absolute improvement in my back. My chiropractor noticed the improvement after 4 days of using it. So yeah. Russie, it's great to see you. I'm great haircut. I've been practicing podcasting, editing on the video. I'm ready, but I still don't have enough subscribers on any platform but Instagram. I do once a week. So what do you mean you don't have enough subscribers on any platform? Like, you know, you don't need a subscriber number to live stream on YouTube, right? Like, if you're using a third-party software, like Ecamm or StreamYard or EVMux or any of those, the limit is 0. So, yeah. John says, I got the Elgato Facecam Mark II as a second camera, but I've been so spoiled by Sony, it's hard to go back to webcam quality. Yeah, I can see that. I can see it. Look, I've been actually playing with my cameras, and to the point where I was buying, like, I wanted to test out some of the cheap capture cards. So being able to have like a second camera. So I've got a second camera. It's not plugged in today, but it is there. I've got a second camera set up. It's my old Canon 70D, and that's all plugged in. So that works via USB into Ecamm because Canon and Ecamm work nice together. But I've got a Sony, no, not a Sony, a Canon M6 because I was Canon before I jumped to Sony, right? So I had Canons first. So I've got a Canon M6, but it's Mark 1. You know, the one that turns off every 30 minutes? Like, I made merch and sold so many coffee cups that had my blank face cam box with my border around it that just said face cam. I sold so many of those cups. It wasn't funny. Just because. So, yeah. Doug says, iPad for content consumption, phone for socials, Mac for work and editing. That's pretty much what mine has worked out to be now. Yeah. And then my desktop for live streaming and for editing anything big. So yeah. SMA Sky, great to see you. The mod request happens on every stream I do. I just ignore it. Good. And you know, you can actually add, you know, make me a mod into your block words list. Or however they ask it, if there's a particular way they ask it all the time, you can add that into your block words list so it shows up less often. Good to lots of hearts. I saw them bouncing around. I did. You got to start before you're ready. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Yeah, you do. Yeah, no. If you want to use just a YouTube live streaming software, you need to have a minimum of 50 subscribers. If you are using anything third party, then it actually circumvents that. So you can, as long as you've got. You still have to have you have to have been verified for live streaming. You have to have a, is it the middle or the intermediate or advanced features enabled? I think it's intermediate features have to be enabled. So yeah. Aline Smith, great to see you. Thanks for jumping in. I did. I have got a recommendation for one. So I'm making a video. Believe it or not, there is a video incoming. I'm not setting a date for when the video will be released, but there is a video incoming. No problems, no problems. Amazing, your destination. I'm so happy the chair is doing what it's supposed to. I agree. I was so nervous. I was so nervous, honestly, that I was going to get it and I was going to build it and then I was going to have to ship it back because it was not what I wanted. Like I did have to go and buy an extra thing. Like I'm just going to pull this out. Because my feet, well, because my legs are short, but because my feet don't reach even my normal footstool, I had to go and buy another footstool. Sorry, it's a bit dirty. It's had feet on it. So I bought this from Amazon and it's been fantastic. It just lifted everything up just enough and it'll be nice in winter too. Yeah, those power saving features can be a problem for long streams. Yeah. And on the M6 Mark I, you can't turn it off. There's no way to turn it off. Doug, hang on a second. Come back here. Stop it. But yes, that should be added to block words list. It was 1,000, Russie. It was. But it's changed. Real Men Rising, have an awesome night. Thanks for jumping in. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's advanced or intermediate, but you can just go in and check. But make sure that you actually go into verify for live streaming. So try to set up your first stream, but you need to set that up well, like over 24 hours in advance, because I'll take 24 hours to give you access. So you need to set that up first. It used to be 1,000 and then 500 and then it dropped down to 50. So if you're using the YouTube software, I think it's 50 right now because it went to 100 and then it's down to 50. 50 with limited reach, but if you do it via a third party, it works. Can you ask how the watch time is going? Let's have a look here. I can tell you. It's like helps if I open. I'm like double checking I don't have a top-down camera going. We are at 1,759 hours. So we're doing that. We're getting there. Like I was actually chatting with some friends and I'd been sort of stuck at this 1,500 watch hours for ages, right? Ages and ages. And it just felt like I was just never going to move off 1,500. And so I stopped checking because it was disappointing. And then I realized, you know what? You guys are amazing. And I get so much support from you all over on Buy Me a Coffee. I'm actually doing pretty okay with the Buy Me a Coffees that you give me. You know, like, so even if even I'm not getting ads, even if I can't have memberships over here yet, the Buy Me a Coffee is working as an intermediary. So, but then I can't remember where I looked. I was looking to see if I was trying to find out a feature for somebody and I had to click on a tab because they were like, something's missing, and I've gone to check it and I was like, oh, wait a second, I've jumped. If you can't go live on YouTube yet, just save the recordings and upload them to your channel later. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? I haven't seen that either. I haven't seen no one's asked me to be a channel manager yet. Well, except for Doug, who I made a channel manager. Actually, did Doug even ask? I may have just made him a channel manager without him asking or me asking him. So yeah. A watch time counter command. That would be very cool to have. I don't know how we'd set it up. I don't know how we'd set it up. I'll have to think about that because there'd be a way. There'd be a way to do it. Now I have to get my button to gear. Yeah, do it. You can do this. You can do this. I just did a nerdy thing yesterday. I used a Google API to pull analytics from my YouTube to make a small web page for OBS to show live sub count for all that matters. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Look at this. You guys tell me how I can do it. All right. Well, I'm going to sit down and work it out. I don't want it to be there all the time. I don't want it to be a thing, right? But for those of you that care, which I know a lot of you that are still here do, those of you that care, I want that to be something that you can see. I'm all about transparency. So, SEO bros, channel managers and editors. Oh my gosh. My experience of stats is that the less I look at them, the better they are. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, SMA Sky, you're so close. You're so close. I can dig through the Google API. There may be a thing in there. That would be cool. That would be so cool. You could bring in that YouTube stats page as a browser source if you're logged in, but be careful about how much you share. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Because I'm happy to share like the subscriber number and the watch hours, but I don't really want anything else out there. Yeah, I don't. There's not that much else in there, but I do want to be careful. If I recall, our live watch time counts as well. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Any live streams that remain public, their watch time counts. Yeah, I think a chat command for watch time could be good. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Doug. I'm thinking the earn tab. I'm just going to open it up just so I can see what actually shows up just straight up on the earn tab. Let me just open. I'm not going to show my screen while I'm doing this, guys. So just bear with me for just a second while I have a squizzy look. The YouTube studio. And then we go to the earn tab. And what does it show us? The earn tab, I believe, would be safe to show, the whole tab. At this stage, it would be safe to show. Yeah. I think so. So I think we could do that. I think there'd be a way that we could do that. I'm curious about 24/7 live watch time. Past the 12 hours, it doesn't have the videos if someone watches for 7 days straight. I think everything changes. I think the second you go over that 12-hour limit, I think a lot of things change. But there'd have to be something that would... I don't really understand a lot about these long live streams, so I definitely need to do some digging. But yeah, I don't know the answer. But I do know things change once you go over that 12-hour limit. But I also know there's plenty of bigger channels that are doing these things and they wouldn't do them if there was an advantage. So I love that idea. It can encourage viewing for channels to get hours needed. Yeah. My concern is that would people do the wrong thing to try and help you get your watch time up? And I don't want that. I don't want to risk my channel or other people's channels from getting them booted. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. If you're using OBS or Ecamm, I think you can use a browser source, then crop everything that you do not want to share and just bring it in like lower thirds. I am using Ecamm right now and I prefer Ecamm, so I will definitely be looking at that after the stream. Yeah, for sure. It'll just be like another tab I just have to make sure I've got open. Let me just see if we can, like, okay, what have I got there? What have I got on my screen? Is there anything that I don't want seen? I will close that one down. And alrighty. Okay, let's do this live. Let's do it live. Alrighty, so we're going to add, go away widget. All right, we want to add a browser source. No, that's a widget. I don't know how to do it. I'm going to have to look into it. Let's not do it live. Let's not do it live. Run away, run away. Yeah, it was a good question from SMA Sky. Yeah. Learn live stream with John says, I've not done too much of it, but I once set up a restream to stream a playlist of older VODs and it was bizarre how well it did. I think some people are looking for super long content. Look, I'm going to tell you this right now. There are plenty of people out there that want long content. I know a gazillion crafters who like to have something on in the background while they're doing something else, that they can just look up and be watching it or listening to it or whatever and just have it continuously play. Do you know how many of us nearly rage, throw remotes at our televisions when it's like, are you sure you want to keep watching? Yeah, I want to keep watching. Why do you think I'm sitting? It's like, yes. And stop asking and stop judging me, television. So yeah, it's definitely a thing that people want. And I'm just looking at that from a crafter's perspective. There's people who are studying, people who struggle to sleep. There's so many people out there that want this longer content. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's worth testing it out. If you've got an ability to give it a trial run, give it a trial run. Live stream consultant says VOD will only be 11 hours and 59 minutes. That's right. For the live streams, the maximum that you can have it as a VOD is at 11 hours and 59 minutes. But will that mean that you don't get to collect the watch time if it's longer? Like VOD, absolutely it won't pin it as a VOD, but will you get to collect the watch time and the extra ad revenue? Yeah, because that's the thing. Bigger channels don't need that watch time, so they just want the views. So yeah. Thank you, Susanna. I'm still adjusting to it. It's very short. I used way too much shampoo. So SMA Sky says, so from the API I used, it has 4 stats: the view count, the subscriber count, the hidden subscriber count, and the video count. So hidden subscriber, I'm a hidden subscriber. If I subscribe to your channel, I'm technically a hidden subscriber because I've chosen the option. So when you look at your subscriber list, you won't see my name, but I'll be one of the number. So because I don't want it, I don't want people to see which channels I'm subscribed to. Like, yeah. Cha-ching King, how are you going? It's great to see you. I've only done one live event. Blech, I can't even talk. I've only done one live event and the lag bothered me. I'm thinking about trying it again. Which lag are you talking about? Just out of curiosity. Was there like some sort of, like, was it like that 15-second lag between your your upload and it appearing on YouTube and then the chat coming back? Or is there a different lag? Because when it comes to the lag of the chat, you can change it when you're uploading, like the different level of lag. Now, that means that there'll be things that can and can't happen. Like if you're doing a ultra fast, it can't caption for you while you're live. Things like that. So there's things that you'll be saying no to, like so you can change the latency. But does that matter for you or not? But if the lag was something else, I'm very curious. Also, I'd be double checking your upload speeds and the quality of your internet. Yeah, that's normal. That's 100% normal. 15 to 20 second lag between me and the viewer responses. That is totally normal. The way around that, here we go, everybody. Let's just, whoosh, curtains are open. Is to actually just get behind in your chat. Because then it doesn't matter quite so much. And then if you ask a question, like you've seen me do here, I'll ask a question, but then I'll go off and do something else, and then I'll come back and check the chat. That all sort of came about because I realized I couldn't just ask the question and then stare at the chat and wait for the responses, because that's really bad, television or entertainment. It doesn't work. So keep it moving, keep it going, and ask a question, and then add your response. Try and fill that 15 to 20 seconds and then go back and check the chat. You just need to factor those, you just need, as John says, factor the delays into your show flow. And yeah, Doug. Doug's notorious for being like a good 10 to 15 minutes behind in his chat. So that's why it's really good to just allow for it, because it's going to be there no matter what. It really is. And if you don't know it was going to be there, it would have been super stressful. Yeah, I like to fly under the radar. Yeah, definitely. SMA Sky says, that explains if my subscriber count from the AP shows 1040, but on the studio it shows 1046. If I take turn that false so true, I guess it'll show that one for us. Yeah, if you add in the hidden, it should show the 1046. It should. I'm not sure how this API thing works, but it should do. The first one I tried was so stressful. I had somewhere between 200 and 300 people. Oh my gosh, yes. I'd have been happy with 15 to 20. I get it. I really do. I understand that. Did you have moderators to help you is my big question for you. I hope you did. I hope you did. That's a lot of people in for your first live stream. It really is. And that's some people are like, that's what I want. That's what I want. But there's an advantage of growing together, of your live stream audience growing with you as a creator, growing with you while you step up and you adjust to the new. It's like labor, right? It's like having a baby. There's different pain levels as you get closer and closer, and so your body adjusts to giving birth. Like most of you are dudes, you don't know. But it's the same thing. If you start out streaming when your channel is small, you get a chance to adjust to the software, adjust to everything, adjust to how it works. Not in front of a huge audience. Those few people that stay and watch, they are your core people. They are your rock. They are your foundation. You guys that are all here, my foundation. And so having those people grow with you helps. And those are usually the people that end up being your moderators. Those are the people that supported you when you started. And it's definitely a really interesting process when you go the first time and it's so big. I can imagine you would have been it would have been very daunting. But at the same time, just deep breath and just go like you would have gone if there was 20 people. I do a live stream. I used to do a live stream on another channel and we would have 600 people in the chat and it was chaos. And all I can do is just like good chaos. It was good chaos. There was just a lot of comments. There was no way I could keep, like here I try to answer every comment because I can. But over on that other channel, I couldn't. And the moderators, I relied heavily on the moderating team that I put together for over there. So moderators can really help. Live stream consultant says, watch hours on a stream only count if the stream is converted to a VOD, as a 24-hour live stream will not be public when it ends. Being public is the key. That was what my thinking was. I just needed to find some YouTube verbiage to double check it. Let's have a look here. I didn't have any moderators, but everyone behaved. Then I got some super chats and I didn't know how to respond. It's been over a year and I need to try again. Yeah, like this is the thing. You can actually turn off super chats. You can make it so people can't super chat if that would make life easier for you. The other thing is you could just carefully go through and answer all the super chats and not answer so many of the other questions. You don't have to follow the whole chat. Which live streaming software do you use? I know that with Ecamm and StreamYard and things like that, they automatically star the super chats. So you can actually just have a super chat stream of comments open and you can just be checking those. You do have that functionality. So I would definitely see about getting a couple of mods in. Oh, you've assigned a couple of people now. Awesome. That's awesome. Oh, there you go. Looks like you can get it. That's good. John says, I tell myself every time I'm live, I'm building a presentation muscle, even if no one shows up to watch. Yes, one of my goals is I'd love to speak at an event about YouTube moderation, right? You guys know I'm passionate about that. I can talk all day about it. I'd love to present, but I'm good here, right? In my little safe room. I don't know how it'd go on an actual stage. So I know that there's differences. Yeah. You used OBS. I built everything from scratch. I also think that was a mistake. I don't see a problem with OBS in itself at all, actually. I have zero issues with OBS, and if you're comfortable with it, stick with it. But it'll just mean that you just need to, go through the super chats. Like right now, I'm using Stream Ninja. What's it called? That Stream Ninja. Ninja stream. Anyway, it's how I'm bringing the comments on, right? You can use that in OBS as well. It's actually been designed for OBS firstly. And that way when a super chat comes in, you can bring the super chat on screen and then social stream Ninja. Thank you, Doug. Thank you. And right now I'm using social stream Ninja to bring the, oh, so it wasn't Doug. Oh, Doug and John both did it. I saw Doug's. Sorry, John. So, you know, being able to have it so that you could bring their super chats on screen. That would be my big recommendation, is being able to do that. But in saying that, a chat with 300 people, the chat's going to move faster. It'll be harder to find those super chats, but you can do it. You can just scroll back and you can go and grab them. And if you do miss them, just make sure you've got your YouTube window open so you can go back in and just find all your super chats. So you may not be able to bring it on screen, but you can at least draw attention to it. That explains why you do not see many live streams that have live bodies on unless it's a very special or rare occasion. Yeah, absolutely. Cha-Ching King says, I have zero trouble with public speaking, none, but live streaming seems incredibly daunting. It's a lot of plates to keep in the air. It really is. It's a lot of plates to keep in the air. For me, I love it because it's just me and you, and it feels like I'm just chatting across a table with a friend. When I'm public speaking, I do know one thing. I cannot hold what it is I'll be talking because the microphone picks up that it's shaking so much. So I need a podium to put my stuff on or just not have stuff. Just memorize it. So yeah. Look, Cha-Ching King, I'm going to say this. I wouldn't recommend StreamYard right now. I would stick with OBS. If you're already comfortable with OBS, I would stick with OBS, honestly. I would bring in something like Social Stream Ninja and add that to your experience. But I wouldn't, if you're already, I would recommend StreamYard or Restream or something like that to people who can't get their head around OBS. Because OBS is free, man. These other things, they are so not free. They are so not free. And yeah, John knows. I loved StreamYard so much. The team behind it, phenomenal. Not anymore. But so if you're comfortable with OBS, stick with it. Stick with it. I use OBS all the time. It works well once you have it figured out. And that's the thing. Once you've got OBS sorted and figured and doing what you want, you are good to go. You don't need anything else. With a large stream, pop the chat out, put it on a separate monitor in the portrait mode all by itself. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, said Book Sage, a new chair is on my early 2025 list. As somebody who recently has gotten themselves a new chair, yes, do it. Get yourself a comfortable chair. Oh my gosh. Yeah, don't mention bending spoons. Absolutely. I'm a bit, it's trigger. Oh, you're not comfortable with OBS. Okay. All right. Well, what you need to do is you need to think about what it is you want out of your software. And then you need to go into the various platforms and decide, can they do what you want them to do? So OBS is great because it can do pretty much everything, right? The advantages of things like StreamYard and Restream and EBMux, so the browser-based platforms, is that it's a lighter upload. So if you are multi-streaming, like I'm multi-streaming right now to both YouTube and LinkedIn. And if you're using a browser-based, it actually is just a one weight of one upload. If you've got guests, it does all of the other things. So you have to just sort of think about it. But the downside is StreamYard does not bring in browser sources. So like My Little Make It So's or my Buy Me a Coffee notifications or anything like that. It doesn't bring any of that in. But if you don't want that, it doesn't matter. Okay, so you have to think about what it is you want your stream to look like and go from there. Cha-Ching King, send me a DM. We'll have a chat. We'll have a chat and we'll see if we can get you more comfortable with your software. I didn't realize I had that in my copy paste. what I meant to paste in was, if you like to tinker, OBS is great. Yeah. Free is my favorite price point. Yeah, there's a cost. There's a cost to free, which is you have learning curve. I think that's where I'm at. I really think that's exactly where I'm at. I think I am mourning what StreamYard was. Oh, John, look, I've got, I have a Puddles. I had a coffee cup, which my cat destroyed, actually. I'd pulled it off the set to decide what I was going to do with it and had it on a table, and a cat, one of my cats, it's actually my daughter's cat, jumped up and just pushed it right off and just smashed it. I'm like, well then, that's what's happening with that. But I also have like a hat and sweater and t-shirt, and you know, like, I still wear them. They're still great to wear. They're fantastic. Their merch quality was amazing. I'm not throwing it away. I just won't wear it on camera. Yeah. And also Riverside FM is another good one to try as well. Add that one to your list too. There's a pile of great ones to go and check out. We can talk through that. Lots of squirrels, lots of emojis. You guys are champions, honestly. So good. So good. But yeah, I can definitely see why getting 300 into your first chat would be daunting. It really would be. It really would be. And now you're kind of like, you're at this point where like everyone else is like, I will only stream if I have this many people, and you're like, I have this many people. I don't want that. I don't want that. What's this one here? Is that flying dollars would be good for BMAC? Lol. Money flying around the screen. Yeah. Do you guys have as much fun with this as the Fiberfeed community, like with being able to have like the emojis and the chat commands and stuff? I'm really curious. Like, yeah, let me know. Livestream consultant says that would scare the fire out of anyone on their first stream. I agree, 100%. That would terrify me if that had to be my first stream, for sure. Like, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. Oh, absolutely. And not just for Cha-Ching King, but for others as well. If you are wanting to go live and you are nervous about it, you can set your system up and then make it a private live stream so that it's actually not going out to your audience. Or you can make it an unlisted live stream and share the link with a couple of friends. And get their opinion, and they can chat in the chat, so you can see how you look away to look at the chat and see how that looks back in the replay. There's a lot of things that you can do to practice, but at the end of the day, you're not going to know how it goes with your live audience until you go live with a live audience. So just be clear, just be honest, just be like, hey, this is my first one of these in like a million years. Bear with. Crap can happen. It's live. And for myself and other experienced live streamers, crap happens. Sometimes things happen in our live streams where we're just like, what? And we teach people how to live stream, and we teach people how to make content. And it's just the nature of live. Sometimes, I mean, look at television, live television, crap happens. It just happens. SMA Sky says, I could see it becoming a problem though. I have the emoji wall on my stream and I use the featured chat but turned off the automatic one. Yeah. I like being able to choose which chat I have on the screen. Cha-Ching King says, I'm only nervous about the technical aspects. I'm really comfortable talking. Just ask my wife. Yeah, my poor husband. Same deal. Same deal. But yeah, I mean, we can just help you get comfortable with your technology. We can all help with that. So yeah. So much of live streaming is the learning curve and just being okay with whatever happens. That's the big thing, isn't it? You just have to roll with it. Like, stuff happens, roll with it. Like, there are times in today's chat, as a prime example, where words couldn't happen. I couldn't say the word and my mouth just went blah, 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 and I just had to keep going. You know, and if this helps you at all, like, I actually have a stutter that I have to try really hard to keep under control. And my stutter is worse when I'm stressed. So I have to really try and be like calm before a live stream. I can't do the whole like super hype up kind of thing. I need to start my live streams off as calm as possible so that I can actually get words out. And it was actually quite weird because my stutter is stress related, right? It's one of those things where, and when I concentrate on it or when I talk about it, my husband didn't realize I had a stutter for years, and then all of a sudden it kicked in. And I was chatting with my mum on a video call, and he walked past, and she was just like, "You need to go on a holiday. You need to relax." And my husband was like, "Oh, so funny. You know, she needs to work harder." And, you know, and my mum was like, "You've got no idea, do you? Like, listen to her. She's stuttering. She needs to relax." And he didn't know. He didn't know, because I'd been on top of it for a long time. And I am lucky in that I know what triggers my stutter, and I can try and keep on top of it. Not everybody has that. Trip over your words. The Skyden came in. You're good. Yeah. Live stream consultant says the first live I ever did had a max of 15 people, but I did have an advantage as I'd been a guest on other streams for almost a year. My first streams. Oh, Doug, see you later. Go and enjoy being the dad cab. My first streams were small. I can't remember how many people I had on my first streams. I think it was about 10 to 15 people on my first streams over on Fibrofig, but it steadily grew. So, because I'd been working very hard at building an audience there first. So, Amazing Yacht Destination said, I like the emoji wall, but I know that too many emojis are something that you don't like, so don't want to spam it. Yeah, it's for me, it's a real tough one, because I don't like it when I'm moderating in a chat and there's just like a wall of emojis. So when I very first set this up over on the Fibrofix stream, I was just like, let's see if we can crash it. How many emojis can we go? And so we did, and like it started like the emojis started stuttering, like we succeeded in making it not like it. So yeah, it was just one of those things that I was just like, let's just get it out of our system. So now a few emojis here and there is fine, and even like 3 to 5. I've never had an issue with 3 to 5 emojis in people's comments. It's when it's just like line after line after line of emojis, and it just ends up filling the stream and there's no comments around because of the kinds of emojis that there are. So it looks like getting the watch time will be complicated, but once I figure it out, I'll try and share it with anyone interested. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, like, the alternative is I can just do what I do to show the music, especially in Ecamm. I can just open up the watch time thing and actually screen share the section of the screen that just shows it. Now, it won't be as a chat command because it'll just be a manual screen share, but it'll be a way to do it. So, yeah. Wait. I just saw that from John Lacey. I'll be totally checking that out. Let me just tell you that right now. It'll likely require anyone wanting to use it to set up Google Developer Console, create an API key, set up the API, and then having a web. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm not that level. I'm just like, no. My brain just went, no, not doing that. So I will actually probably just legit set up a screen share with that section of the screen and just have it pop up in a corner every now and again. So when someone asks, I can just manually press the button. There might be a way to trigger a scene change. I don't know, or an overlay ad. I don't know. I'll need to look into that, but I'll create it as an overlay of a screen share here in Ecamm so that I could do that, and then we'll work that out. There'll be a way. There'll be a workaround that I don't need to go in API Google stuff. Star Wars style text scrolling option. I want that. Let me just have some more coffee. Coffee time. Alrighty. Do you guys have any more questions for me? Just out of curiosity. Throw any questions. Anything you want me to chat about? Anything you want me to talk about? Cover? Touch upon? Let me know. Yeah, bring on, I'll have more coffee if you guys are going to do that. There we go. Yeah, I'm just going to do it as an overlay. Absolutely. Yep. I'll work out how to make it sit nicely and go from there. I could probably even set it up as 2 overlays so I can have one bit of information and one bit of information and just have them both appear in a block. I can legit do that. More chat commands. I will make more chat commands, I promise. You sent me through some great suggestions. So I will totally make some more chat commands. And then I will also create a list where you can see the chat commands. I'll make a Google Doc for the chat commands so that you can see what you've got. So yeah. Can I ask what changed with StreamYard that makes it much less attractive now? Yes, you can. StreamYard was sold to Bending Spoons. Bending Spoons over the last few years bought Filmic Pro, Evernote, Meetup, a couple of other companies. Building Spoons, they come in and buy companies that have really great communities. They and that have great followings. They instantly sack the majority of the staff. Then they change the pricing structure. And over the last couple of months, people who have been on $10 a month plans got moved over to their now cheapest plan, which is $44 US a month. My plan that I was on, which was $38 US dollars a month, jumped to $90 US dollars a month. And I had like a lifetime discount, but it's a percentage discount. It wasn't a dollar amount discount. So I got my 10% off or whatever it was for being grandfathered in. The catch is that while they have increased all of these prices, the service has actually dropped. The customer service and the technical help has been totally dropped. And they did a town hall like 2 or 3 days ago where they were like trying to explain to people, because there was the most negative chat I've ever seen on a StreamYard town hall. And the chat was really upset about the new pricing structures, and some people hadn't seen the emails, so the first thing they knew about it was when it hit their credit card, and trying to get a refund as they cancel their account has been very difficult. Getting anyone to respond has been very difficult, whereas historically you got responses back from StreamYard really quite quickly. It's just been it's no longer the same company. It has the same name. It is a live stream software company. It is no longer the same company that we used and recommended. That their big thing of why the price had to go up is because they're planning all these new features. The thing is, the features aren't out, and it's certainly not worth the money. And the other thing that's a bit disappointing is if you go in and create a new account, if you come in as a new user. So I went in, I grabbed a new email address I'd never given StreamYard before. You have to log in to get the pricing. You can't even look at the prices without actually giving them your email address, which I also think is Dodge Brothers big time. That's a personal thing. I think you should be able to see the pricing before you give anyone any of your information. So I put in the email address to see the new pricing, and I was instantly offered 50% off. And that is true, absolutely 100% true to Bending Spoons' policies. They rely on churn. That's their whole business plan, is get new customers in, get new customers. They no longer care about old customers. The old customers are actually a drain on the bottom line. They want to get rid of the legacy customers and churn through new ones. Their goal is not to keep people on platform. It's to sign up new people. So yeah, so if I was to, like, I've currently got my annual subscription. I happened to get one in under the line before the new prices happened. It was just a perfect timing thing. I didn't know that new prices were coming. So I was able to lock in for 12 months because I pay annually in advance. So I was able to lock in 12 months on the old pricing. Once that goes, I've got to find a new platform. I won't be sticking around. Because the other thing is, like, yeah, sure, I can go and get myself the pricing I had before. I can go and get that by signing up for the new account. The customer service is gone, and the care for the community is gone. So that was the big reasons why I was there. So go and check it out for yourself. Make your own opinions. That is my opinion. And so, you know, and I'm happy to influence people with my opinion. I really am. But I need you to go and check it out for yourself as well. Just in case I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. Anyway, so I'm going to go back to the chat. Let's have a look here. Oh, yeah, definitely need some tacos for sure. Definitely need tacos. Yeah, SMA Sky, I'm wondering if it, I don't think it can because of how we set it up. But it, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to see. 44 a month is really steep. I can't do that to stream once a month at max. Yeah. And it is steep. It is steep. Will your chat commands be in your YouTube description or in a ticker at the bottom of the stream? I was actually going to chuck it in a Google Doc, but I could put it in the description. That would make more sense if it was in the description. I could put in like a handful of the main ones in the description. Yeah. Oh, and you have to cancel. Here we go. John says you have to cancel 5 times to get out of your plan. The whole thing is super shady. Cha-Ching King said, so glad I stopped in. I needed to hear this. Yeah, you've got so many options. And seriously, we could get you comfortable with OBS, possibly. So, yeah. Or I really enjoyed using EVMux, and they've got some great plans as well. I've still got to go and test out Riverside FM. I've heard some really great stuff about that. I really love the idea of the Streamlabs Ultra, which is like $150 a year. That looks really promising as well. So, you know, I'm going to have a play. I haven't landed on one particular one to stick to. Other than Ecamm. I love Ecamm, but I like something browser based for when I'm having interviews. So yeah. Let's have a look. You could have the iCommand thing like a Nightbot that can link to Google Docs or a page on your... Actually, yeah, I could absolutely have like the chat command that would throw up the Google Doc link called chat commands, and you guys could get the chat commands from the chat command Google Doc by hitting chat command. We could totally do that. John says, Riverside makes me nervous. Half the people I know are promoting it. The other half are complaining about dropped frames. I'm suspicious. Yeah, I haven't played with it. I've heard good and bad things. So, but some of what I've heard is from a while ago, and I know things have changed. So I need to go and test it out for myself. Then your computer can handle it. I've run 2 streams off a basic laptop, thought it had hiccups, and now and then we have a Frontier FiOS. See, my issue is not my computers. My issue is my upload speed. So I've got dodgy Australian internet. Welcome to Australia, land of the free, land of spiders and snakes. Also crappy internet where they call it super speed when you have 40 megabits per second upload. Don't consider that super speed personally, but it's the best I can get at this location. Short of paying tens of thousands of dollars to have fiber run to my home, which I don't have. I mean, we could start a buy me a coffee. I actually don't want to do that. I think that making people pay, like, and this is the catch. Are you ready? This is the catch, and this is why I get grumpy, right? Say I wanted to have fiber run to my house and it would cost me $10,000. Let's just say $10,000 to run it. Now it's got to run through basically 2 streets to get here. Once I've got it connected here, anybody who lives on that route can then connect just by connecting to their street and pay like a couple of $100. But I had to pay $10,000 to get it to my house. And if I had that kind of money handy, I'd just drop it. I'd just be like, here, boom, do it. It's done. I don't care. Go for it. But it bugs me that the government do that. They should, like, every time somebody else connects to it, they should send me a credit off my internet bill or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. Yeah, it's just one of those things. That would work great for the chat commands. Yeah, Australian internet is totally crappy. You are. It's like, let's just pour some salt, rub it in, spray it with lime juice. Oh, wait, we've got vinegar. Yeah, 40 megabits. I'm capped at 10. Seriously, they barely invented electricity where I live. Look, I live streamed doing a dual screen a dual screen camera, like I had overhead and face cams with 2 megabits per second upload. When you use OBS, you can control the absolute minutiae of detail so that you can do this stuff. It's like, so if you've got 10, I did a dance. So I went from my 2 to 8 and then to 40 by changing internets. So I originally had ADSL, then I had cable internet, and now I've got NBN, which is, everyone in Australia has to have NBN. It's awful. When I jumped from my 2 to my 8, oh my gosh, it just made things so much easier. The catch is if you've got guests and if you want to multi-stream. If you just want to do a single stream to a single location, 10 is plenty. I'm live streaming now, just as an example, to both YouTube and LinkedIn, and I'm using 10. According to Ecamm, Ecamm gives you an estimate of what you're going to use. So I can multi-stream to 2 locations using my upload on 10. Yeah, you could, but nobody else around here wants it. So yeah, a poke the bear chat command. You do. Every creature trying to kill you. Yeah, it's pretty rural. Yeah, I get it. I really do. I get it. But it can be done. And anyone who tells you it can't be done, they're a big bunch of liar pants. You just need to flick matches at them so their pants catch on fire, because they're liars, right? It can totally be done. When I first started streaming, I was told I could not stream with 2 megabits per second upload. They're like, if you can't get 5, don't bother. I'm like, well, I can't get 5, but I also want to bother. So I knuckled in and learnt OBS and was able to, tweak settings and make it so it would work. But if you've got 10, dude, you'll be able to do it. No problems. Let's have a look. It'll give OBS another try. I can figure it out. Turn off the super chats, not tell anyone I'm going live. You can totally do practices with an unlisted stream and just share the link with a couple of people and just tell them, I'm practicing some stuff, please don't share the link. Like, don't put it anywhere public. Let me look here. Oh yeah, like Esme's going to look up for Michael, but I highly recommend going and checking out what's Addie's Epos Vox, Gaming Careers. There's a couple of really fantastic channels that just dig in so much on OBS. OBS has got so much support, it's not funny. Like, I'm not kidding. There's just so many places you can go to get help. Yeah, and John says here, if you're not ready to go live, make some offline videos and upload them. And that's the other thing. You can use your live stream software to record directly to your computer. So you didn't even have to go live. But yeah, you definitely need to check. Oh yeah, Nutty's hilarious. He does some stuff as well. But yeah, definitely go in and check out some of these guys who their whole career has been built. They've been using OBS for 10 to 15 years. They've started it when it was dodgy and hard to use, and now it's so much easier and more streamlined. It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve, but I think that it can be done. Yeah, Nutty does a lot of stuff. He really does. Yeah. So that's the thing. Oh, and Michael Fayer does. I don't know how to say that. Sorry, Michael. But yeah. But on that, I'm gonna head out. I gotta go and get some stuff done. We've been chatting for a long time. I've had an awesome time this morning or this evening for you. I really do hope that you do go in and give live streaming another go. If you need some extra support, just send me a DM, and or Cha-Ching King, or the handful of people that are in this live stream. a lot of you already know how to get in contact with me. So we'll have a chat. We'll get you going, and we'll help you through your pain points, because it's once you get past those pain points that you get to enjoy it more. So I will chat with you later. Have an awesome day or night, and I'll catch you around the traps. Bye now.